Hi, we're trading the ES on a 2000 tick chart with the 21 EMA. So price started in this range right here. I thought of this as the overnight highs and the overnight lows. Um, there is a lot more before 830. 830 is right here, but it did just kind of go into a downtrend, so that's where I considered the overnight lows. So we were in this range, started here around 730-ish. Price broke out, two legs down, and then we tried to get a correction. There's no entries on the way down here. Everything's far from the EMA. But then we get a correction to the EMA, a break, and a new high. You can't go short here because this uptrend is still in play and it's just a first entry. So there's no reason to go short here. Then we get a break, new high. So this uptrend is played out, and I thought this wasn't bad. I drew this short-term trend line to see if it closed in. I thought it closed out. I can't really tell now, but at the time I thought that it closed out. And I didn't, I was really skeptical about taking this because I didn't want to have to push through the EMA yet because I just didn't want to enter into the EMA. But I did realize that I can take it because you do get out at the EMA. I got in on the tick, that's one tick below, even though it doesn't really look like it. So that's still 5 points. And I honestly, when I took this trade, I honestly wasn't even paying attention to the points on the side, and it did catch me off guard because my stop just went right in the middle of the bar, and so it kind of spooked me. I wasn't expecting to take a trade that big right off the bat, but um, you know, either way, it's ended up being fine. So then we go into this downtrend. We have a break, expecting a new low, because when a downtrend has a break, you can expect price to make a new low. This entry is not good to me because it's just a first entry. It closed above the EMA right before the entry, and so there's just really nothing to take. If this was a second entry, um, closing out of the short-term trend line, which it did close out of the short-term trend line, but it's still just a first entry, so I don't like it. But had it been a second entry, I probably would have taken that. So we have another leg down, another correction. We have a break, new high. It's way too choppy. You can't enter in this. You can't take that bar. Because look at these bars. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars stacked side by side. You know, EMA is directly through those bars, so you don't want to go short right there. But it does go down again. And at this point, I actually tried to draw a different channel. What was it? Oh yeah, I drew this channel at this point. And then I was going to see if it was going to hold. It did have this undershoot, but then it also didn't end up holding, and so I just got rid of it. But we went into this uptrend. We had a break, new high. So the uptrend played out, and then we got a first entry long, second entry long failure. But once again, there's no good setup here. EMA is completely flat. All the bars are stacked up side by side. Um, the entirety of today was very, very slow, and I thought of it as a really rough day, to be honest. I was getting really antsy, and I got bored really fast today just with how slow it was. So, but anyway, failed second entry. We continue lower, lower high. Wouldn't want to take this because, let me draw something actually. If we have this range, it is a breakout pullback. It's actually not as bad as I thought. Now, the only problem is that you're going directly into the lows of the day. So if I draw that, you don't really want to go short directly into the lows of the day. If you have room, maybe you're fine, but for me, I can't get a one-to-one scalp on that, so that's not something that I would take. Um, but yeah, I didn't even notice this at the time, to be honest. So then we do push on lower, lower highs. Then I drew this channel. And here I thought it was good because we had one, two, three bounces off the highs and one, two bounces off lows. So I did think that this was a pretty decent channel. Price seemed to fit good. And then we did get an undershoot. We bounced real early. Um, I didn't find any short entries on the way down. It's all far from the EMA. There's a second entry here, but it doesn't even get to the EMA, so I don't think I would take that. And it looks like, yeah, this closed inside the short-term trend line anyway, the signal bar, so that's not something you'd want to take. Another couple pushes down without any entries. We get a first entry short, second entry short, above the EMA, terrible signal bar. I'm sure if you draw a short-term trend line, it's inside of it too. Yeah, right there. So really nothing to take here. We do get this double bottom, and then you can count this as a first entry short, second entry short here. Um, there's a short-term trend line here, closes in. If it had closed out, it might have been okay, but I don't think I would have taken it still because of this undershoot right here. And so that probably would have scared me out of it had it closed below the EMA anyway. But anyway, the channel does not hold for long. There's some resistance there, but it does break out, and the EMA starts holding to the upside. We can draw this uptrend. I wouldn't go long yet, because this downtrend just had a break, and when downtrend gets a break, you can expect price to make a new low. But it was holding off the EMA consistently. This channel formed, but I just really think it's too early to go long yet. So we then push below the EMA. We get a first entry long, second entry long, failure, but that's not a good entry to take because one, just like earlier, it's directly into the lows of the day. So you don't want to be taking that. It's a huge bar. Um, you could have taken the engulfing bar, but I don't like taking engulfing bars because they'll often just close back up higher. But either way, it's not touching the EMA. So that's one of the main issues with it. Also with that it's into the lows of the day. So there's really no entry that I see here that's good. Um, Here we get a first entry short, second entry short. Now this actually does look pretty good. Um, I believe it has a short-term trend line working through it. Yeah, it does. Um, but it's a triple test. Got a new high here. Test it once, test it twice, triple test. Enough room down to these lows. Um, but this scared me out of it. Here is where I got my second trade, and very, very long distance between these two trades. I had to wait. Where was this at? 7:38. This was at nearly 10:30. So that's almost 3 hours in between without taking anything. So it was a real rough day today. But we have this range. We break out. Most breakouts fail. We have a good signal bar. I felt comfortable going into the EMA just because of how down we were. And we're still expecting a new, well, here's why I was comfortable going into the EMA. Downtrend, break. We are expecting a new low. We have one leg down, and now we're still expecting a second leg down. And we finally got a big correction. Good signal bar, failed breakout. I thought we might make the second leg down, which we did. I'm not sure how measured it is. Yeah, it didn't quite reach there because today, like lower volatility because of the rollover, I believe. Um, because of that, you really don't want to enter into the lows on low volatility because they've just been holding, and it's harder for it to get through resistance. But so I thought that this trade was all right. I'll draw the risk to reward. 17 ticks, although I did get in with a stop actually. So yeah, 18 ticks. Um, so yeah, only two trades today, but they're massive trades, so I feel like I did pretty good, even though it was just two. Um, so anyway, we break out of this range, pull back, no real entry here, pull back again, we go back into the range, reach the highs, no entries. This bar is taking up the entire width of the range, so obviously you can't take anything here. and then we just start chopping around. And this is about where I stopped. I stopped early today because it was just it was just getting too slow. I just couldn't stand sitting at the chart, so I just started studying after this. But here, I'll draw the rest. We have this uptrend, break. We're just chopping. Really nothing that we can take here. Um, that's basically it for the day. Um, two winners. Um, I'm glad I didn't get chopped to pieces in the middle because it was like agonizing today. There was literally nothing between these two trades at all, and I'm just happy that I got any trade today. I was wanting to actually stop and just start studying charts before it even reached here because it was just so like painful to just not take any trades for so long. Um, but I held out. I wanted to go to at least 10:30, which is about where I stopped, 10:30, and I stopped soon after this trade. So um, anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Um, I hope y'all learned something, and I'll see you in the next video.